This episode is brought to you by Forney Industries, official sponsor of Faction 46 and Nice Motorsports Truck Series teams. Forney offers versatile welding and plasma cutting machines, along with a full line of metalworking accessories for beginners, do-it-yourselfers, and professionals. Forney has everything you need for your next metalworking project. Shop for these top-of-the-line products at forneyInd.com. That's FORNEYIND.com, or at an authorized Forney dealer near you.
Hey y'all, Rick Houston here, and I want to tell you about my new show, the Moonshine and Motorsports Racing Podcast. I've partnered up with the state of North Carolina Department of Natural and Cultural Resources to help uncover the history behind moonshining mountain boys, professional wheelmen, and the backwoods and city lights of the Tar Heel State. In the first episode, I sat down with Winston Kelly at the NASCAR Hall of Fame for a little behind-the-scenes gossip about Junior Johnson's engineering skills.
He's got two things in his hand, pipe wrench and channel lock pliers. And they weren't new. They had been around the block a time or two.
Wasn't the first steel they built, I bet.
No. I think the pliers had been red before, but paint had worn off.
And in the second episode, I talked to a professional hillbilly, a.k.a. Dr. Daniel Pierce of UNC Asheville, to find out the real history of moonshiners and their battles with the revenuers.
He wrote about one of his experience of trying to chase down this bootlegger in this souped-up car, and he complained that the government gave him these piece of crap, cheapo cars, and that were really no match, but he thought he was doing pretty good, and then the guy just hits it and just takes off and practically disappeared. But then the guy makes a bootleg turn and comes back towards him. And as he said, it was a game of chicken, and I was a chicken. And so he ran off the road. And actually, he was the guy who caught Junior Johnson at his daddy's steel when Junior got tangled up in a barbed wire fence.
So check out the Moonshine and Motorsports Racing Podcast, available on YouTube, dailydownforce.com, and all of your favorite podcasting platforms. And be sure to check out my regular show on NASCAR history, the Scene Vault Podcast.
Hey there, NASCAR fans. Have you got your copy of the latest edition of NASCAR Pole Position Print Magazine? If not, there's no better time than now to subscribe at polepositionmag.com. NASCAR Pole Position is the only print magazine covering NASCAR. Officially licensed by NASCAR, NASCAR Pole Position Magazine is published throughout the NASCAR season, and each edition is an instant collector's item, packed with great feature stories and photography. The magazine is even mailed to you in a poly bag for those who love to collect NASCAR memorabilia. At polepositionmag.com, you can even find past issues available to purchase. Get your subscription to NASCAR Pole Position and get great NASCAR content delivered straight to your mailbox throughout the season. Learn more at polepositionmag.com. That's polepositionmag.com.
Eric Estep here. One of my favorite parts of being a NASCAR fan is collecting diecasts. It's how I got my start on YouTube, actually. To me, a room is not complete until it features shelves of NASCAR diecast cars. It's as good a time as ever to continue your collection or begin an all-new one by pre-ordering your favorite driver's 2022 next-gen diecast at LionelRacing.com or at any authorized Lionel retailer. Lionel is the official diecast of NASCAR, and don't miss Lionel Racing's NASCAR Authentics diecasts at a Walmart or Target near you. Not only is Lionel the official diecast of NASCAR, but they're also official supporters of the Out of the Groove podcast network. So what are you waiting for? Head to LionelRacing.com to order your favorite driver's 2022 diecast.
You're listening to Made in Level Cross, presented by Pristine Auctions. I'm Thad Moffitt.
And I'm Rowland George.
And today we have no guests, so you just have to listen to the two of us speak. But we got a lot to talk about, huh, Rowland?
Yeah, we don't need a guest. We have a lot to unpack. Probably too much for what we usually do, but we're going to unpack it. We just got done with 2 weeks of solid racing, so we're going to break that down. Solid
I don't
racing.
know about solid racing.
I thought it was pretty solid, but we'll talk about that. Thad, How you feeling?
Not great at the moment, Eugene. I mean, I feel like we have speed, which is a good thing. I think that we have a lot to clean up as an organization, as a team, and then me as a driver, of course. So it's positive to start the year off with that much speed, especially like in Daytona. Qualifying in the top 10 with 4 niche trucks was good, and then we went to Atlanta and we qualified the absolute opposite, where none of the trucks were in the top 20, right? So I think that there's some things that we could work on and get better throughout the season.
Well, like I told you, I'm proud of you. You made really good efforts at both venues, and it's a learning curve, right? You finished this race at Atlanta, and that's what we need. We need data. You need laps. It's what's expected in your rookie season. So let's dial back, though. So we headed down on Valentine's Day to Daytona. Let's take the folks back to Speed Weeks or Speed Week, and I keep forgetting it's not Speed Weeks anymore.
Nope.
But we made the 8.5, 9-hour trek down to Daytona.
Yeah.
High
Stopped
spirits.
at Buc-ee's.
We stopped at Buc-ee's, the highlight of our trip. Buc-ee's, if you're listening, we'd love to have a talk with you about getting on Thad's truck. We love you. But stopped at Buc-ee's, missed the Florence one, which you gave me absolute hell for. Was not aware there would be another one.
Yeah.
Wasn't aware there was another one until we hit Florida, so apologies for that. But we got some beef jerky, we got some fuel, and speaking of fuel, Thad had a generator that his dad got him for his camper, which that's a whole other story for another day. But we're trying to start the generator at Buc-ee's, and I asked you, when's the last time this thing ran? And I think you said, I don't know, 2 years ago. Yeah, it was that moment I should have realized that thing was not going to start. But
nope. It didn't start. It was a fiasco.
It was a fiasco. So we roll into Daytona. We did not have our credentials just yet, so we're getting by as we can to the track. Daytona is exciting, man. The energy is no. I mean, you've been there plenty of times. That was my first time during a race. I've been there before just for tours, but how did it feel going back there? When's the last time you were there?
Well, I went last year, right? But last time I went to drive would have been 2022. Mm-hmm. And just being part of that weekend as a driver in general is incredible. I don't care if you're running the ARCA race, the truck race. I mean, there's only 160 people, like I said, that get to drive a race car at that place that week. And I was one of them, right? So really cool really good honor, to have that. And unfortunate that it ended like it did, I mean, I think that we were really fast all weekend. Everything was clicking. But Daytona is a cool place, and the motorhome was cool, but getting it set up was not the greatest.
No, it was interesting. I didn't end up. Your dad dropped a couple $100 on a new generator.
Yeah.
We got that all fixed up and needed an adapter, which we were not aware. But the gentleman, Kevin, you got that with your dad.
And then the first night, man, we didn't have the gas can out there until 6, 7 o'clock in the morning. Generator shuts off on me. Nobody's there. No gas can.
Well, listen, the gas can. So this is how much of a fiasco Daytona setup was, folks. So, obviously you need gas to run a generator, and we did think ahead, right? So Harrison and Mark, they packed the trailer really good, so thanks to them for that. But they put the 5-gallon VP Racing Fuel race style gas can. I took that out, put it in the back of our dually, and while I was out getting credentials for the golf carts and some other VIPs we had there, some jerkwad decided to steal the gas container. It was there 1 minute, and then it was gone as soon as you got out with the credentials. So the person who stole the VP Racing Fuel 5-gallon tank, I hope you enjoy it. I hope you can live with yourself, because you made our life a living hell going to Walmart, buying gas containers. But
you said that was the coolest Walmart
that
you've
was.
ever been in, though.
I love that. So, I'm a race fan, okay? I love all the marketing that goes behind, especially Daytona, the beginning of the year. That Walmart was encrusted with race fan paraphernalia. I mean, Ross Chastain. I saw more of Ross Chastain on billboards, advertisements, and everything else in that Walmart than I have. I mean, more so than Kevin Harvick when he had his Busch deal. So
Ross is everywhere.
He is everywhere.
He was the same way in Atlanta. He's the Protect Your Melon campaign or whatever. He's on all those billboards. He's on what's the health company that's
Advent. Yeah. Well, he was with Advent Health. Then they went to Legacy. So, but he was. I mean,
yeah, the wine car or whatever is on there. And then, God, what does he have? The Bush beer deal.
He's got the moose. I saw the moose.
Yeah, I mean they're using him like everywhere.
Yeah.
I love it. I think it's awesome. It's good for drivers. Like it feels good to be used like that, right? I mean to get out there in front of the people.
Feels good to be used.
In that way, I mean, like you want to be out there in front of the fans, right? You want them to know like that you're, I don't know, you enjoy the same things they enjoy. I mean, just be a person. So,
but no, Walmart was great. So shout out to that Daytona Beach Walmart. Definitely made me feel like a little race fan kid again. I was like, wow, look at all this stuff. I'm just telling you how I feel, man. You ever walk into, folks, if you've never been to the Daytona Beach Walmart, you got to do it. It's like going to Buc-ee's for the first time. Your life will change. So we got the gas can situation filled out, and then we were just hanging out with, some friends, family, fans. Got to hang out with the crew for the first time. That was really cool. And then we got to practice. What happened with practice? Do you remember that?
Yeah, I feel like practice was okay. It was solid. My guys, it was their first session ever, other than Doug and Steve. And once again, there's a lot to unpack and clean up there within our organization. I think that everybody did a good job, but obviously there's things that we can all learn at, me as a driver and them as a crew. I think that there's definitely things we can improve on. So I think everybody's green, man. I've never done this. 90% of my team has never done this. Yeah. So just learning together and getting better each and every week is all you can ask for.
And I think overall for the first time the crew did very good during practice sessions. I mean, through the whole race weekend, Doug George impressed the crap out of me. When your splitter was hanging a little low, and instead of trying to have you join the pack, he just had you come back in. He goes, "I'm not concerned about this practice session. I want to get this truck dialed in," and he got that thing dialed in, man. I mean, if you guys weren't paying attention, which if you listen to the podcast, I assume you were watching the race, right? Go out and qualify in the first round. Fantastic for a rookie. And then you end up sitting 10th for the race. I mean, you can't ask for a better start to a season than that.
I think that we kind of surprised a lot of people, even ourselves, qualifying in the top 10 first time out and just showing that kind of speed right off the trailer. I mean, I don't know that another truck team first race out has qualified top 10. No. So I think that was, props to Cody and all those guys at Nice that help us out each and every week too, right? But I think that like Doug obviously had a lot to do with how fast we were. I think we were on the splitter, like I said, really hard in practice. And then throughout the weekend, we just worked on getting it up off the ground and throughout practice. And then again in qualifying, we touched a little bit, but it wasn't that bad and just got better each and every run. And like I said, that's all you can ask for. I mean, at this point, with all of us being pretty brand new to this, other than Doug, just continuous improvement is all you can ask for. So,
how did it feel going across the stage with your name being announced for the first time? That had been really special, right?
Yeah, I felt like it was really surreal, dude. Like race day in general was all of it was a lot. It was just I didn't know what to expect, and it just everything came real. And it was really cool to be a part of, and to have my name on the door and have my name on the stage. And then it was really, really good for about 5 laps. Yep. And then it wasn't, like I said. But, just the whole day in itself was just like a dream, felt like, right? And then I realized after the race, man, I get to do this again next week. I really need to focus up and make sure I have a good week next week. And then, of course, we went to Atlanta and again had a great day until it wasn't.
Yeah.
So,
but going back to Daytona, I think we even after the race, everyone was in good spirits. Big shout outs to the Jergowitzes from Tasty Duck. Had a great time with them. They cooked us with duck. They were in good spirits. We were pounding some One Spot Coconuts and Outlaw beer, having fun there. Caitlin Dagler and the Customers Bank crew. Big shout out to them. Had a ball with those folks. And then, we had Lear out there. So yeah. I think the Lear truck bed cover looked freaking awesome on the truck.
Yeah.
It looks real. So that was a lot of fun. And for a lot of them, it was their first NASCAR race. So I think he did a pretty good job, all things considered.
Yeah.
with how everything went. I mean, you couldn't have asked for a better weekend. We got the race in. We weren't rained out. You qualified well. And, just lessons learned, right?
Yeah. And I think that, like you said, I had a good support system there to kind of get me up out of that hole before I got too deep in it, right? I mean, like I went right over and talked to the Jurgowitz family from Tasty Duck and Caitlin from Customers Bank, and they were not mad at all. And I was like, dude, I'm fired up right now. I mean, I just destroyed my race car lap 5. Like, this is stupid. And they were like, no, you did awesome. Yeah. They were like, there's nothing you could do. They were in good spirits, like you said. And Lane, same way. He was like, dude, don't beat yourself up. He's like, anybody would have done the same thing. So
you're very blessed that we're all blessed to have Lane. I mean, he was the guy right there and then saying, you know what, don't shake it off. It is what it is. Take away from the positives and learn from it. So, the Moore family's been amazing throughout this whole journey, and definitely blessed to have them part of this. So, Daytona, before we move on to Atlanta, I'll have to address this situation. Almost destroyed the trailer leaving. Your dad won't let me forget it.
Yep.
So, for those of you who are not aware that the Turn 4 tunnel is not the same dimensions as the Turn 1 tunnel, now you've heard it first here on Maiden Level Cross. Don't do what I did. I had the petty hauler hauling back all the good stuff and almost went through Turn 4 and had a catastrophic day ripping the trailer apart. It was all right. So
it was like a traffic jam.
Oh yeah, it was a disaster.
And then people were honking at him. He was trying to back up and get turned around. People were videoing.
It was pouring rain.
Yeah.
People were flipping me the bird. I had probably 50 to 60 cars backed up. And to help you guys visualize this, there's no place to just turn around a trailer, right? It's just, you have to back that whole thing up, but you need someone to help you back it up. So luckily I had Caitlin with me, and we had this NASCAR official who was coming through the other side of the tunnel. And I knew as soon as I hit these yellow things, I'm like, I'm not fitting through that tunnel. Well, this NASCAR official says, son, you ain't fitting through that tunnel. I said, I realize that. Can you help me? So he helped me. I didn't even grab his name. I wish I did, because I definitely like to track him down. Maybe he was a track worker. He had NASCAR and Daytona stuff on. So big shout out to him, whoever you are, my hero, my anonymous hero who helped me. And then, sure enough, I'm being passed, being called all types of expletives. And it turns out your dad was one of those guys. I didn't even see your dad. What got me, though, I got frustrated, though. So the whole reason I went to Turn 4 is because, throughout the whole weekend, you and I are going in the dually, we're going in the golf cart, doing these appearances and all that. And I don't think twice about the size of the tunnel, right? I just assume they're all the same sizes. And, your dad follows me out in your mom's Suburban, which is a large vehicle. I know he was going to see your grandpa in the motorhome lot, and then he turned off. I just assumed I was doing the right thing, I just thought, hey, this is the path of least resistance for this truck trailer. Well, I thought wrong. So learn from me, learn from my mistakes. Your dad now called me the wrong way instead of Roland, so I gladly do that. So there was that snafu. So it was really interesting. I did. We had the generator, we had the tunnel, and then your good luck charm.
That was not good.
Yeah,
it was not a good luck charm. I told you before you gave it to me, man. I said this. You called it a totem.
Yes.
I said these things do not work for me, man. They just don't. I mean, I got a Buckeye last year. I got wrecked. I did the lucky penny thing. My window net fell down at Daytona. I mean, we got Ling Long this year.
Ling Long, yes.
We got Ling Long is what you gave me. It rode in my pocket for qualifying. I was like, man.
Tell the people what Ling Long is. I don't think we told them last time.
So it's like a little chopstick holder. We went to Vegas. We went to SEMA show. And at the
awesome restaurant called Tal.
At the awesome restaurant called Tal, they had like these chopstick holders on the table. And on the bottom of it, it says like stolen from Tal. So they know everybody takes it, right? And so Roland, I guess, gets his back to North Carolina somehow and holds on to it. SEMA was October, November, December, January. 4 months you held on to that thing?
Yeah. I was looking at it. I was like, I'm gonna give this to him at Daytona. It's gonna give him good luck, and then help you visualize. Maybe we'll put a picture on Instagram, but it's like a little Chinese baby, and I thought it was appropriate to call it Ling Long because that's some of the cheapest tires that customers want. If they're doing like a quick tire job here at the garage, well, people are like, I want the cheapest set of tires you got, and there are these things called Ling Long. So if you work in automotive, you know what these tires are. They're pretty damn good for the price. So I go, how appropriate is it? Like this little Chinese totem. He's smiling at Thad. What's the most unique totem I can give him? So I gave it to you. And it worked out in qualifying.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at, right? Like I wrote in my pocket for qualifying. I was like, man, these things might actually be working. Wrote in my pocket for the race, and all 5 laps it was in there, right? And so then again, we go to Atlanta, and you're like, dude, just give it another try.
Yeah.
We roll out for qualifying.
Just for qualifying. Just
28th on the board. Listen. And you said, give me that thing.
Yeah.
So
Brandon wanted to destroy it. He says, let's put some tannerite in it. There is a hole underneath. You could probably pack some little bit of tannerite and blow that thing up. But no, I kept it. I think it's just going to sit at my desk now and stare me down. So Ling Long, did you Wong? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so Daytona, we covered that, came home in rainy conditions, and then went back to Atlanta. We didn't go back. We went to Atlanta.
We'll be right back. But first, a word from our sponsors.
Pristine Auction is the most trusted sports memorabilia and collectibles auction site. Auctions on pristineauction.com start at just $1. And each day, thousands of signed items are available, so you win signed authentic items at affordable prices. Every item on pristineauction.com comes with a certificate of authenticity from the industry's most reputable authenticators.
PristineAuction.com is your one-stop shop for all authentic signed die-casts, helmets, trading cards, photos, and so much more of your favorite drivers.
All right, Roland, I've got my eye on this Tiger Woods signed LE 2019 Masters pin flag. There's a lot of cool Tiger Woods stuff on here. I didn't realize they had that much Tiger Woods stuff on Pristine Auction, but pretty cool stuff. This Jack Nicklaus pictures is neat too.
What's the bid up to?
$787, but the Masters flag is $3,100. I think it's
cool.
Worth it.
Yeah, no, that is pretty cool. Well, I got my eye on something pretty cool that I'd love to have in my collection. It is a signed photo of the 1972 Martinsville race between your grandpa and Bobby Allison. Little fun fact right now. Right before Atlanta, your grandpa was all by himself. The place was all pretty much closed down, and we have that race that plays on loop out there, and he's watching it. And so that's a pretty good race, King. And he goes, you know who wins it? So I think I do. He goes, I do.
We'll be headed to Martinsville here in a couple of weeks. Hopefully we can back up some of the stuff Grandpa did there.
Upgrade your collection today and get $10 off your first win using registration code THAD. Again, that's registration code THAD for $10 off your first order. Links are in the show notes.
For you, it's all about going further, faster. For them, it's about helping you achieve it. That's why at Customers Bank, they combine the best of technology with a deeply human touch. They offer a wide range of innovative banking solutions backed by outstanding personal service, giving their customers the edge they need to take on tomorrow. Take the lead with Customers Bank. Learn more at go.customersbank.com/NASCAR.
Hey NASCAR fans, when it comes to peak racing performance on the track, there's one thing I know is crucial for drivers, and that's hydration. Say hello to Once Upon a Coconut, the ultimate hydration for me and NASCAR drivers. Packed with electrolytes and natural goodness. Their fresh coconut water keeps me hydrated as I heat up the racetrack.
So get into your pole position and fuel your passion for NASCAR with Once Upon a Coconut and the pure power of all natural coconut water. Head to onceuponacoconut.com to stay hydrated and let the race begin. We went to Atlanta. Really nice weather. For the most part.
Yeah, I mean, it was a little cold, but it was nice, sunny.
Unpacked the Petty's garage.
I wish I would have
Silverado.
I wish I would have got to run the old Atlanta, honestly. I think it's really cool, like, to go back and watch those races where they're slipping and sliding around. And, I mean, I know the track needed work. I know it needed to be repaved, but Atlanta was like just a small Daytona, pretty much. I mean, I know that we had to run the top and we were single foul, but it was not hard to run wide open the entire race unless you got a little tight in traffic or a little free in traffic. Then you would do a slight lift, but, I mean, it's pretty straightforward restrictor plate. You're running wide open the entire time, and our stuff drove good. We played the strategy game. We didn't pit in we pitted early in stage 1 when the first caution came out, when the 22, I think it was a 22.
Yeah, yep.
22 spun. Doug was like, all right, I'm coming, and I'm not coming again until the end of stage 2. And I was like, good, I'll just hang out back here in the back. I even said on the radio, I was like, I'm just going to hang out back here for like the rest of stage 1 then, and then stage 2, when we restart at the front, we'll go race. And we restarted, put ourselves in position to get some stage points. We got hung out on the bottom and tried to get in the gap on the top, and I guess the gap wasn't there.
There was no gap.
There was no gap. And
no gap. I'm sorry.
When that happened, we got hit the right front on the fence and then got some damage, and rest is history. We ran the rest of the laps, but we were not good after that.
Kudos to your guys, though. I mean, that thing had a lot of bear bond on it, but they got it. I'm like, I was pleasantly surprised that your left front did not cut down or anything. Like, that was, you were focused on driving, but I was on the pit wall just watching what they were doing, and it was super impressive that was not rubbing at all.
Yeah.
So, but I think you guys were resilient throughout the whole deal. You know, it sucks that was the situation you were in, but you run an 8th.
Yeah.
Got some good TV time. Jamie Little and Mikey were giving shout-outs to you. So
yeah, well, I mean, that was my first time running top 10 in a truck race ever, right? So, like, it's just a big learning curve for me and just learning as much as I could. And obviously the 98 is the one who got outside of me, and he's been doing it for a long time. And when he cleared me, there was a gap there, and it just closes so fast, like on those restrictor plate tracks. I mean, it was the same gap that everybody else had, about a car and a half in between them. And then whenever he got by me and I got up in front of 13, it just closed up so fast. He caught my right rear barely and sent us into the fence. So I don't know. I wish it could have played out a little different. I wish I could have just got some stage points, just a decent, solid day, man. I mean, even if we had no stage points and we just ran all day and ran top 15, I would feel a lot better going into Vegas. But now we have virtually no points after running last and last. And
you don't have no points. You have 11.
12 points, yeah.
That's pretty decent.
After the Riggs DQ. That's pretty decent, dude. I'm pretty sure I'm last.
You're leading the rookie standings right now, so you got that going for you.
Yeah, not great, man. Not great. Not great at all. I think that we put ourselves in such a box now, though, that, like, I got to score some points at Las Vegas, like, or we'll go to Bristol and Coda and have to make the race on speed. So,
don't worry about it.
Yeah, just go win Vegas.
Just go win. Yeah. What's the preview for Vegas? Who we got on the truck this week?
We got South Point on the truck this weekend. Big thanks to those guys. Brendan Gaughan's a good buddy of mine. I called him. I was like, hey, man, I got nobody to sponsor me at Vegas. I was like, I really would appreciate some help, you know. I mean, if you could, or if anybody you know could. He's really connected out there. Yeah. And he hopped up right on board, man. It was cool to have those guys on there. And we're staying at the South Point Hotel and Casino. So if you're in Vegas, come see us. I'll be there. I'll be at South Point's booth at the racetrack sometime after lunch. I'll be out there. So, yeah, cool to go out there. And Vegas is a neat place, I guess. I'm not the biggest fan of it. Honestly, in all honesty, Vegas, the racetrack is cool, but, like, the city itself, I
agree with you. I could take it or leave it.
I could take it or leave it, man. I'm a small town, just out in the woods kind of guy. That's just, and I think it's cool, just like I think New York's cool, like the Statue of Liberty's cool. But if I spend more than 2 days in New York, get me out of there.
100%
man.
agree with you.
Get me out of there.
I could do 2 solid days in Vegas, and then I just go Just get me out of here. I can't do it.
But the SEMA show is awesome. The racetrack out there is cool. But even notice the racetrack is a good 30 minutes from the city. So,
I got to do the race experience there.
Cool.
My buddies at McLeod a few years ago, McLeod transmission, or McLeod clutches. Slow my rope there. Jeez. The reason I said that is because they're all owned by FTI. So shout out to those guys. Yeah, I did pretty well out there.
Yeah.
Can I drive the truck one time? Can I do that?
It's pretty rough racetrack.
It's like, a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's like rough getting into 1, rough getting into 3. It widens out really quick. You can run like the wall all the way down to the white line, which I think is cool. It was cool to race against Kyle Busch this weekend. That was pretty cool.
I told you, man, just stay in front of or stay behind him. Do what Brendan told us about Martinsville.
I never got close enough to him, but when I got in the top 10, I could see him, and I was like,
just stay behind him.
It's pretty cool.
Was I like force projecting in your mind, like Obi-Wan Kenobi?
No, just like
saying that follow Kyle Busch.
Dude, when I was in the top 10 just running, and I was like, I was running decent. I was like, this is learning. Like, this is a good learning experience for me. And then obviously I made a wrong move, letting the 98 get to my right rear, but I didn't even know that he was running higher, right? And then, like, I wish I would have blocked higher, but I didn't know that he was running higher. And so just something I got to learn and kind of, I guess that's what they call mirror driving in the top 10, right? Like, when
just do what everyone else is doing, right?
Yeah. Well, I was running. That's the thing. I was running in line.
Yeah.
Right. So, like, even if it was the 98 behind the 1, he would have got out there on his right rear because I was in his tire tracks. Like, there was like maybe a car outside of me, but he definitely put himself right up against the fence to get there. And then when he did, ended up clearing me. And then when I went to move up, like I said, I got tagged the right rear, but there wasn't a gap there anyways. So,
well, before we move on from Atlanta, and because we're going back and forth now, you're confusing me right now. We were talking about Vegas, now we're talking about Atlanta again.
Well, because Kyle's racing Vegas again, right? I think he's running this weekend.
We all know,
but he won
that race.
He won Atlanta.
It's not the 46; it's the 7. I gotta shout out to you and Matt Mills. Looked pretty cool out there working with each other.
Yeah.
And then at one point, Matt's just like, "All right, bro, I gotta go."
Yeah. I just had so much damage, right?
I know, but
he even came over after the race.
Yeah.
He was like, "I'm sorry I left you hanging." And I was like, "No, I understand." When he left me, he ended up running like half a lap ahead of me, dude.
Yeah.
Like he drove so far away, I never saw him.
And the who was Mason Maggio, 21, they just checked out. The whole Nice crew. I mean, I love those guys. The crew, Cody, but the drivers, like, Matt and Bailey. What a bummer with Bailey, dude, with the roof.
The roof coming off.
That was nuts.
What are the odds, though, that his roof came off and hit Ty Dillon's truck, the roofing Chevrolet. Yeah.
The Rackley roofing Chevrolet.
Yeah.
And then Caden had an awesome day. So Caden's probably in high spirits after that run.
Oh, yeah. Awesome. I'm sure he'll be pumped up at our debrief, and everybody else in the debrief will be like, man, that really sucked.
Yeah.
At Daytona, I think all 4 Nice trucks wrecked. Then at Atlanta, obviously 3 out of 4. So
Nice needs a good weekend.
We need
Nice
a good week.
Facts need a good week.
We need a good week in Vegas for sure.
Well, just crank up the Elvis and blow on those dice. Maybe you'll have a good week. You don't know what I'm talking about, do you?
No.
God. Youngin. So best of luck at Vegas, Mr. Moffitt.
Thank you.
I'll be rooting for you. I'm not going to be there, so sorry.
It'll be the first one this year that you didn't go to.
I'm not going to Vegas. Love you, but can't get out there.
Dude, I mean.
I'll be at Bristol, though, man.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be the first one this year where we don't have, like,
maybe I'm the bad luck charm.
A lot of people.
Well,
it can't just be you, right? Because it's everybody. Like, we had, like, dude, how many people did we have in Atlanta? 25 people behind my hauler, like, at one
Maybe
point?
we should make a list. Maybe it's we'll get a list going. Maybe it's like Lauren, Jenny.
I hope it's not Lauren, because she'll be at all. She'll be there for a long time.
If you have another rough week and she's there, maybe we have to talk.
You have to stay at home more. You are no longer allowed at the racetrack.
We're going to figure out what the bad juju is. We're going to get rid of it. So I'm going to stay home this weekend for that purpose. Maybe I'm the bad luck charm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't think so.
No, I don't think so either.
You actually did better. See how you're going up. Maybe you'll go up another 5 spots. That'd be great, pretty good, right?
No, I want to go up way more than 5 spots. That would put me. I finished
easy, dude.
I finished 26th, so that would put me 21st.
Listen, we're all hoping for you, but we got to be realistic with these things, you know.
Dude, come on, man. There's no way you can't convince me that
I'm
a
messing with you.
21st place driver.
You're not by no means. No, we seriously wish you and the Faction 46 crew the best of luck at Vegas. Go out and make us proud, which I know you will, with those that beautiful South Point truck.
I like the way their schemes look, like just historically, right? Yeah. I mean, like when Daniel Hemrick runs their stuff,
black and yellow.
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward, but their logo's cool.
It is.
So I've got to run some cool trucks already through 3 races this year, or gonna be 3 races. And
stay tuned for some other good ones.
Yeah, we have some more good schemes coming.
More good ones. All right, well, it's that time where we answer the questions from you, the race fans. You ready for this?
I am.
You got more and more coming each and every week. So this is a pretty interesting one. I'm just these are randomly chosen folks, so it's not like I'm choosing one over the other, but this one stuck out to me. This question's from Michael Floyd in Annapolis, Maryland. That's where the Naval Academy is.
Really?
Jesse Woogie, baby. Jesse, if you listen to this podcast, what's up? Jesse's a good guy. All right, so Thad, has your mom ever wanted to drive a race car, to your knowledge?
I don't believe so. My mom's not a big speed person. She's not.
Would that have even been permitted?
I don't know. I don't think so. Sharon, Lisa, nor Rebecca, I don't think ever even considered driving race cars, right? They wanted to be like my grandma, Linda.
Yeah.
They wanted to do what she did, which was not drive race cars. It was like knitting and cooking.
Knitting and cooking.
Like taking care of the kids at the house. Like it was not driving race cars.
Do you think we could get your mom in a race car? Could we do like a NASCAR
dude, there's
experience?
No way. So she rode with me one time at VIR, and she was the worst passenger. Just yelling at me the whole time, telling me when to brake, how to drive. Like she was like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa!" I was like, "Mom, I do this for a living. Yeah. Chill out."
Well,
is that what you're looking for?
Yeah, I was looking for my pen. You stole it.
I had it.
Where was it?
It was right here. I had it. Look, right there.
I see that. That's a nice autograph. All right. So, hope that answers your question, Michael. So, next question. I think I might save that for later in the season. It's who's your favorite teammate to work with? And that's from Johnny Mewborn, but I'm not permitting you to answer that just yet.
Okay.
We'll ask that down the road. So
Johnny, my tongue.
Johnny, you're going to have to wait. I'm sorry, buddy. Okay, this is a good question. This question comes from Sammy Harrell at Sumter, South Carolina. Thad, what is the hardest part of trying to put together a whole season?
I guess I'll let you know at the end of this year, right? I've never run a whole season. Well, I guess I run a whole season on Trans Am. And just the fact that 1 or 2 bad weeks can really ruin your chances. Like you go back and look at Corey Haim last year, he had 20 top 10 finishes, and we only run 23 races. So 3 races he finished outside of the top 10. Other than that, he was a top 10 driver every week. If you're going to beat him in points, you got to run 21 top 10s, right? So when you're running for a championship, when you're running a full season, it's really just making the most of every single race. Like if you have, just in Atlanta, we could have finished 32nd. We could have been the second car out of the race, but since my guys fought hard, we got, 6 extra points for finishing 26th. So this continuing to battle for each and every point throughout the year what sticks out to me the most about running a full season.
So that's it. So from a driver's point of view, I can definitely see that. You want to know
what the hardest part of putting a season together from my point of view? Sponsors.
Sponsorship.
Trying to get you to the track. That is, it's a lot of fun, but it's a lot of sleepless nights too.
It is for sure.
You know all about that too.
Yep.
So this question, this is changing gears a little bit, but this is a question from Kevin Nielsen from West Allis, Wisconsin. Do you think you will ever race at the Slinger Nationals at Slinger Super Speedway?
Kevin, I would love to race at the Slinger Nationals, but I haven't done any super late model stuff, so I don't know that that's something that I would actually do unless I was to get a call. I would love to do something like that, though. Like, even any of those big races. I want to do the Snowball Derby, too. I want to do.
Yes.
There's just like a bunch of big super late model races that I want to run, but keeping my focus in the truck series for right now.
Yeah, let's knock that one out first. But no, there's opportunities this year for some other deals. And listen, if you had the chance to do Snowball Derby, I'd like take it because I've seen that race. It's a lot of fun to watch in person. Bubba Pollard, it's my boy.
He's a good
driver.
super late model driver, dude. Him, Stephen Nassy, Casey Roderick,
Yep.
all those local guys not local, just super late model guys that just whoop everybody's butt.
That's what they're good
Yep.
doing. They really don't want to go anywhere else. I mean, it's like a lot of truck drivers or Xfinity drivers, like the Allgaiers and Matt Craftons of the world. I mean, they found what they were excelling at.
Yeah.
God bless them. No need to move up for just the sake of moving up.
Yeah.
All right, last question for today comes from John Rame from Elbridge, New York. Do you stick around to watch NASCAR races following your race to improve racing lines for the next time you race at a particular track?
This year, John, I have not, but traditionally I do. Obviously, in Daytona, it rained the entire weekend, and I did not stay till Monday night at 12 o'clock when the Xfinity cars were racing. I was home in bed way before that, and then at Atlanta, I also left shortly after the race. But Vegas, I am staying through Sunday. I will stay and watch all the races. So that is something traditionally I have done in the past, just stay and enjoy the race. Even, like, first and foremost, I was a fan, right? Like, that's what got me into all of this, is that I enjoyed the cars. I enjoyed the racing. I enjoyed watching it. So I think that is something that I will do. And I go back and watch a lot of film to improve racing lines and stuff like that. So there you go.
Good deal. Well, that concludes the question segment for today. So appreciate that. Again, shout out to Mr. Jim Boyle for getting those questions to us. You got quite the fan club, man. They were happy. They were sad. They were feeling all types of emotions.
I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry I'm putting y'all to the test these first two races this year, man. I want y'all to be as happy and as bad as I want to be happy. I want to stand in victory lane, each and every week. But just like you said, some realistic goals, man, is just to start having solid days. Just putting the whole day together. This is hiccups. This is a brand new deal. We will have this kind of stuff happen. And we're probably not done with it yet, even as bad as I want to be. But we will have this kind of stuff happen, and I'm just excited to put all that stuff behind us and go to Vegas and just put together, like I said, just a solid day. I think if we come out of there with a top 15 finish, I think everybody will be like, all right, now let's improve from there. Mm-hmm. It sets the new baseline, right? So I'm excited about that and excited about going out there and putting some laps down at one of my favorite places to race is Vegas, so that's really cool. The city, like I said, I'll take it or leave it, but the racetrack is cool. So going out there with the South Point colors will be very much fun, and we'll talk to you guys in a couple weeks.
Sounds good. We will talk to you guys later.
Thank you for listening to Maiden Level Cross presented by Pristine Auctions. Be sure to rate, review, and like and subscribe and all that fancy stuff on your favorite streaming platform. And be sure to follow me at Thad Moffitt on all social media.